So I'm having you, baby, and it means so much to me. There's nothing more precious than to raise a family. Hi, this is Auntie, and I am coming to you with a review on Teen Mom UK. This is a new show that is coming on MTV, and I am going to be doing a weekly review on this. Since I am 4 episodes behind, I will be doing what I call a Auntie's Marathon to get you up to date and to get the past episodes down and up and under my belt, okay? This show should be watched by moms who have children between the age of 10 and 18, basically. It deals with a lot of issues that concern our women, our young women, how they feel about themselves, self-esteem, no self-esteem, low self-esteem, self-respect, premarital sex, and everything else. And so I thought that since this is a new season with all new women from the United Kingdom, that this would be a good time to jump in on this and just kind of give some aunties advice. Because after all, everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go on and get started. This first episode, we get to meet the moms. There are 4 of them, and I am going to be looking down some. I apologize in advance. I wanted to make sure that this review was as thorough as possible. And so I have taken some notes, okay? So bear with me as I have on my glasses. I will be taking them on and off, and just have patience with me while we go through this process. If you are not a subscriber, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Again, these views are my views. I'm hoping that you subscribe and that you stay with me through the long haul through this series of Teen Mom UK. And I'm hoping that we have some really good dialogue. Moms, dads, listen up. Look at the episode. Learn, glean, so that you and your child don't make the same mistakes that some of these children have already made. A child coming into the world is a beautiful thing when it is planned, when a parent is financially secure and able to take care of a child. Again, you notice I said parent and not parents, because families come in different parenthood looks different now. You don't necessarily have to be married to have a child. You don't even now have to be heterosexual in order to have a child. Families are constructed totally different. And while the idea thing is to have one man, one woman, and a child, and to have that child in the confounds and safety of a 2-family household who are married, that is not always how it looks. And that is not how it always is. So anyway, I'm not going to talk any longer. We're going to go ahead on and delve into this episode. The first person we meet is Naomi. Naomi is 19 years old. She has a daughter, Kiana, and she is dating a gentleman by the name of Raphael. Now, they don't give the name of, the age of Raphael, but he doesn't appear to be 19. He seems to be an older gentleman, just by the way that he carries himself. He doesn't seem like he's in her age bracket. And so for me, that's a little bit concerning, because why is this gentleman dealing with this young girl, and who allowed it to happen? One thing that I noticed with Naomi is that we don't see her family being recorded, and I don't know if that is because the family has opted out of filming, or if she doesn't really have a close relationship with her family. That has yet to be seen. But right now he is currently seeing another young lady, and she comes up later on in the episode, and she talks about how she can't live with Raphael, but she doesn't want to live without him. And wow, it's sickening to me and stupid to me. I just feel like, you know, this is something that typically young ladies go through with their first loves, and they end up being wrapped around this guy, and for a large amount of time, typically these young ladies find themselves staying in these loveless relationships with these gentlemen, and their self-esteem, self-image, and their dreams and their hopes sometimes get flushed down the toilet. Excuse me, y'all, this little piece of hair is bothering me. I don't know if it's bothering y'all, but it's bothering me. Okay, so all right. And so he, like I said, he's seeing another girl. He met her in the park, and they were strolling the baby. You can see that Naomi still has feelings for him. He sits down at the park. She acknowledges that he's seeing someone else. She wants to know about the girl. And so he tells her, you know, that the girl is not his girlfriend. She is someone he's seeing. And while he likes Naomi, he tells her immediately at the park, I don't love you. Naomi, he doesn't love you. He's been very clear with that. There is no puzzle to solve. There is no riddle to solve. He absolutely told you, I do not love you. Hold that thought. The next young lady that we see is MEAGAN. MEAGAN is 17 years old, and she is with Dylan. They have a baby, and the baby's name is Mackenzie. Again, they don't give the name or, the age of Dylan, but you can tell that he is around in her age bracket. They are currently living in a trailer on Dylan's parents' property. As you can see from the thumbnail, it is a hot tail mess. He proposes to her, and she is happy, but she's living in a dilapidated, torn up mess of a trailer with him and her baby in somebody's backyard. Talk about not being prepared to take care of a baby. Later on in the episode, we see her riding in a car with her mom, and she is fussing back and forth with Dylan, because when Dylan gets off of work, as any other teenage boy would do around the age of 17, 18, and 19, he's hanging out in the pubs. And of course, because she decided to have this baby as a teen, she's stuck with the baby. Isn't that typical parents? So she's stuck with the child, and she's fussing with him and telling him not to come back. She's, you know, because she is stuck in the house with the baby and living basically in his parents' backyard, you know what I'm saying, like a camper. Boo, you living like a camper. Don't you know that campers eventually pick up and move on and go back to their own homes? But here you are living like that on a permanent basis. Do you not think that there's anything wrong with that? That you're living in somebody's backyard, boo? Don't you want more for you and for your baby? Your parents appear to have a home, and Dylan's parents have a home that's in the front. So I don't understand what it is about her that makes her think that it's okay for her to move backwards in her life and to have this relationship with Dylan and live in a camper. I don't understand it. We see her mom come over and congratulate them for being engaged, and I'm just like, you know, Mom, there's nothing really cute about this. Your daughter is only 17 years old, and you want her to be locked down with a man for the rest of her life because she had a baby and she made a mistake? If it was a mistake to her, I don't know whether or not she believes it was a mistake or not, But I would not be a mom who will be celebrating that my 17-year-old daughter is now engaged to someone, and that she's engaged to him because she's pregnant by him or had a baby. You know, moms, we have got to do better. We want more for our kids when they come out of our wombs, and we, you know, carry them for 9 months. We take care of them. The last thing that we want to do is accept that our children are having a child at 17 years old. Now, some of you all may say, hey, that's the way that they used to live back up in the 50s and the 40s. Well, guess what? We as Americans and as people, period, as UKs, or wherever you live, we have evolved. And we understand now that this is a technological society, and that, you know, in order to operate in this society, that there are advances that we have made as mankind. And now to have babies and all of that kind of stuff like they used to do, slaves used to have children, you know what I'm saying? And that was so that they could, you know, grow the crops for the master. We've come so far away from that mentality and that mindset that I don't understand why a mom would celebrate that for her daughter. But anyway, I digress, and I am going to move on. The next couple we see is Mia. Mia is 19, and she's in a relationship with Marley. Marley already has a 1-year-old baby by the name of Aaliyah with a young lady named Erin. Again, we don't know his age. And again, he doesn't look like he's her age. So these girls are having, you know, these babies, it appears, with these men who are much older than them. What the hell is really going on over in the UK? I mean, I know that, you know, young women date men that are older than them, but I just don't understand an older man coming in and impregnating my little young daughter. I mean, I don't know whether or not, you know, they were 16 when they were having sex with them or whatever it was, but I thought that we had some type of statutory laws. Maybe we have them in the US and they don't have them in the UK. If you live in the UK, please let me know whether or not there's statutory laws that protect your child from dating these older guys. And I'm not saying that they're predators. I'm just saying what the hell is really going on over there. But anyway, let me give some more about her. Her baby's name is Marley. And okay, I'm sorry. I'm on another one. She goes over to pick up the baby, you know, because he takes care of the baby, according to them, 4 days a week. She has to go over there and park 4 car lengths away from their house, or park behind the house, because she doesn't want the girlfriend, Erin, to see her. He goes over there, picks the baby up, and brings the baby back to wherever they're living at. I don't understand this stuff, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand this stuff. But anyway, I digress, and we're going to move on to the last mom, who is Chloe. Now, by the way, Mia is 19 years old, and she has not had her baby yet. Okay, she is still pregnant with the baby. Okay, so I apologize for that. She's still pregnant. So the last one we have is Chloe. She's 17 years old. She had a baby by a young gentleman by the name of Jordan. And Jordan appears to be her age. Again, they don't give the age of the father. And they are the ones that have the little baby named Marley. Okay, it's a little boy. And she lives in Nottingham. She was into makeup and fashion, and I think that she was one of those Instagram girls. And so now she's gained 42 pounds, and she is feeling miserable. She's depressed. She's at home. Jordan leaves out. The mom leaves out. She lives with her mom, and she's just depressed. She's probably going through a little bit of postpartum and everything. And it's unfortunate because at 17 years old, you should be wondering about what college you're going to be going to, what you're going to be doing with the remaining portion of your life. And even if you decide not to go to college, you should at least be expecting to do something with your life that you weren't able to do when you were in high school. So at 17 years old, 19 years old, for these girls to be making these grown decisions, it's so unfortunate, and it is sad. Okay, so we're going to go into now, we're going to start talking about some of the things that happened in this episode that I thought was noteworthy enough for me to write this down. Again, this is not to be critical of these young ladies, but this is to help somebody. Hopefully this will help you young ladies who are out there. If you're 16, 17, 18 years old, I need you to listen to me. And I need you to really look at this episode. If you know of someone who is 16, 17, 15, and they don't have any children, or they do have some children, please share this video with them so that they can be able to see it. Shared on Twitter, Facebook, or any other social media platform where you share your videos, because this we need to really talk about. And of course it's in the UK, but it happens in America too. Okay, so anyway, so we see Mia is about to have her baby, and so no, we're going to go back. We've already talked about, so Naomi sleeps with Raphael and then regrets it. Now, this is the same guy that told her in the park that he wasn't in love with her. But, you know, it's a competition for her. See, she says in her introduction that she can't live with him and she can't live without him. What is it about her that makes her think that she can't live without him? What is it about her that makes her think that she can't live with him? I don't understand her mindset and where she's thinking. But anyway, she goes and she sleeps with him, right? And then she goes and the next day we see her, you know, with one of her clients. She's doing the makeup of one of her clients, and she's like, girl, if I ever go back to him, kill me, girl, and blah, 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 blah. You know, when you say something like that with the if on it, you automatically know in your heart of heart, you already, it don't even have to be in your heart, it's up at the front of your temple, that you're going to go back with him, Naomi. You're not over him. But he's so over you, boo. He's over the fact that he has a baby with you. He's over the fact that he's got to deal with you for the rest of his life. He's over it. But guess what he's not over? He's not over the feeling of ejaculating in you or in someone else. And I'm sorry, I hate to be vulgar about this. Parental discretion is advised. Okay? He is not over that. And men and boys at that age, they don't get over it. The more women that they have and more notches they got on their belt, the more masculine they feel. Because they don't realize at that age that masculinity is not in their penis and not in ejaculating in a woman. That does not make you a man. It can make him a father, but it doesn't make him a daddy. And it can make him a daddy and not a father. And there's a difference between the two of them. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody can produce and make a baby as long as they have a woman or that sperm connects to an egg and that seed, and they have a baby. Anybody can do that. But to father a baby, to be there, to feed the baby, to clothe the baby, to influence the baby's life in a positive way, to direct them, to guide them spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Everybody doesn't have the capacity to do this. And at the ages that they are, they don't have the capacity to father these children. A daddy can be anybody. A daddy can be someone who left sperm inside of a sperm bank. That's a daddy. You understand what I'm saying? There's no expectation of him doing that. But when a man fathers a child, he is there for the long haul, and he is in that child's life. Okay, so anyway, she sleeps with him, and you know, she said that after she had sex with him, she told him, why don't you stick with one girl? I don't understand why you won't stick with one girl. He doesn't have to stick with one girl. He's not married to you. He is not taking a vow of celibacy. He has not told you that he's going to be faithful to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. As a matter of fact, Naomi, I'm going to continue to remind you, he told you that he didn't even love you. So why would he stick with one girl? And then you said that you sat there and you cried in front of him. How childish. How childish of you to sit there and think that your fairy tale, your Hansel and Gretel fairy tale is going to come true. Baby, it's not coming true. It's not going to come true until you wake up as the woman that God has created you to be, and you create a new fantasy. Because the fantasy that you had with Raphael, boo, I'm trying to tell you, that's just not going to work. And you may think it's going to work, but it ain't going to work. And you'll find out. I'm sure, I'm positive that you will find out. Okay, and so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was when Marley's sister took Mia out. She takes her out and to go and get the nails done, and they're talking about, you know, basically they're talking about basically how labor is going to feel. Evidently she's had a baby before, and she's telling her, girl, let me tell you, your body ain't gonna never be the same, and let me trust you, believe me, it ain't. So, you know, she's trying to give her some advice and everything. One thing that I realized about I'm sorry, wait a minute, let me get her name right, because y'all know Auntie will jack her name up. One thing I noticed about Mia, who's 19 years old and she's pregnant, she's a very insecure, jealous girl. I mean, very insecure and jealous. Her mom and dad are still together, but it just seems like that maybe she's seen some infidelity in her life or something. There's something that has caused her to be extremely jealous and obsessive with people. She appears to have very low self-esteem and doesn't honor herself. But the thing about it is, she thought it not robbery to get with this guy who already had a baby. See, this guy already came with baggage. He already came with a backpack and a diaper bag full of crap. And so why she would connect to somebody like that, knowing that her self-esteem is so cotton freaking low, it's just beyond me. I don't understand. And then we later on, we see them on the sofa and they're talking and everything, and she's talking about, you know, how she don't like the girl because the girl Facebooked him. What the Facebook? Relationships have come down to whether or not you friend me or unfriend me on Facebook, on social media. You mad? First of all, boo, Mia, you knew, Maya, whatever your name is, you knew, sweetie pie, that he had a baby by Aaron. You knew that there was a possibility that for the next 18 years, at least, that he would be in this girl's life. If you were so insecure, you shouldn't have wanted to be with him. But again, this stuff is about competition. Young women, you don't have to compete for a man's love. All you have to do is be who you are, genuine to who you are. If a person wants to leave out of your life, let them go. There's nothing that you can compete in sports. You can compete in gymnastics. You can be a cheerleader. You can play football now, softball. You can do whatever you want to do. You can compete to be an astronaut. You can compete to do a whole lot of different things, but competing for somebody's love is never going to work. It has never worked. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for your mama. It didn't work for your aunt or your grandmama. It's not going to work. It's just not what you do. You don't end up winning in the end, because guess what? In order to compete for somebody's love and their respect and their affection and stuff like that, you have to let go of so much of yourself. You can't even be true and genuine to who you really are. It's never going to work out, boo. It's never going to work out. Ask your mama. Pause this video and ask your mama. Pause this video and call your aunt. Pause this video and send a text message to your grandma. It doesn't work. Now come on back in here and let's go ahead and continue talking about these young ladies. Now, Raphael has not seen Naomi in 5 days. He's back up at the house. And Naomi, you know, she's like, you ain't seen the baby. You ain't been here in 5 days. First it's about her. Then all of a sudden when he says, well, I'm going to see the baby for the next 18 years. Now all of a sudden it's about the baby. Which one is it, boo? Because guess what? At the end of the day, the baby ain't the one that's laying with him. The baby ain't the one that's sucking him off. That's not the baby, that's you. Again, parental advisory. That's not you. It's not the baby. So stop making it about the baby. Because guess what, boo? If he wants to father the baby from afar, let him father it from afar. Whether he see the baby in 5 days or 10 days, that's up to him. And that's up to you. But what you don't have to do is open your legs up when he comes over. Make it about the baby. And then you'll be able to see where's his heart lies. Does his heart lie with me or does his heart lie with the baby? But again, you in competitive mode. Instead of you staying in school and being in a competitive sport, you decided you wanted to compete in a game called life and having a baby. But let me tell you something. You've already lost. Okay? You've already lost. you've already lost. Megan. Megan is laying, she's the one that's laying up in the trailer. The raunchy, nasty, roast infested looking trailer with Dylan. And she sit up there on the telephone with Dylan screaming and hollering because guess what? Dylan has slept with her girlfriend, her best friend, in their car the day before he proposed to her. What the Sam hell is going on? Excuse me. He done slept with your girlfriend. But you thinking you got something with him? He's being a boy. Again, like I said, his appetite hasn't changed. He just got a baby out the deal. But his appetite to do and be with other women has not changed. Not at that age. So guess what? He can't be a responsible daddy to you. Now you sitting up there crying and brokenhearted. Your mom and your dad, let me get their names. She sits up there and tells the mom, Megan's mom, her mom's name is Sonia. She says she wants to foodle him or fondle him, which means to beat him up. And then her stepdad, Big Mac, tells her, we already told you that you was too young to have a baby. We told you that this mess was coming. But you ain't want to listen. She's sitting up there crying, and guess what Big Mac told her? You need to cry, and you need to get mad. Now you're over there at your mama's house. You ain't at the trailer no more. You at your mama's house. And then you sitting up there, you going to tell yourself, I'm going to try to see if this could work out for the sake of the baby. Girl, sit your ass down. This not going to work out for the sake of the baby. Because either you're going to accept him as the cheater that he is and turn a blind eye every time you smell something different on him or see a character, something in his character that doesn't line up or something that you're suspicious of. Unless you're able to do that, this ain't about the baby. Young girls, y'all have got to stop making this about the baby. And you've got to stop making this about wanting something to love of your own. If you go to school and you get your education, eventually you'll have something of your own to love. God dang it. You don't have to do this at 17 and 16 and 18 years old. You don't have to do it. And you don't have to do it because it's popular and everybody else is doing it. There's nothing shameful or embarrassing about being a virgin. Not one thing. Not one thing. Learn from your other girlfriend's mistakes. Don't make the mistakes for yourself. Learn from them. Observe. You're nosy about everything else. Okay? Okay. I'm just being auntie. So Chloe is in the kitchen talking to her mom. Because you know Jordan, he going to work, the mom's going to work. And then she got an issue with her mother and trying to make the mother feel bad because the mom ain't helping her with the baby. She's going to sit there and tell her mom how much she do with the baby. I'm up with the baby. I'm washing the bottles. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. That's what a mom does. That's what a grown-ass mom does. And that's why when you're a kid, stay a kid. That's why when you're a child, stay a child. That's why when you're a teen, stay a teen. It's not time for you to be a mom yet. Because you know what, when you are an older, mature woman, you know what comes with motherhood. You count up the cost. No, you're not going to know everything. And there may be some things that may surprise you about motherhood. But you already automatically know what comes with motherhood. And you don't blame somebody else because you ain't give for 2 hours of sleep. You don't blame somebody else because you got to make bottles over and over. And your hands look like they bear claws. Because they in the water so much, you almost got fish gills. You understand what I'm saying? You don't blame somebody else for that. Now, it appears that you know you're depressed and all that, and you bipolar, so she goes and see a counselor and she feels better. But don't blame your mother. And let me tell you, young girls, if you decide that you want to have sex and you want to have unprotected sex and take the risk of having a baby or STD, You don't have nobody else to blame. Don't you get up in your mother and your grandmother and your auntie and them face, or your daddy and your uncle and your grandpa face, and blame them for what happened to you. You made a conscious decision. Unless something has happened to you that's against your will, which you need to be going to the authorities for, you have made a conscious decision to grow up earlier than you should have. And it ain't nobody's fault but your own. So she's going to see a counselor, so hopefully the counselor will help her. She says that it helped her and everything. So, you know, woo-woo we do. God dang it. Mia is 2 days due. Okay, she's 2 days past her due date. So she goes to the hospital to get induced to have her baby. And guess what she turned into? But she got to that hospital and them labor pains start kicking her butt. She turned into a baby. She wanted to have her baby natural. Girl, bye. Epidural is the first thing you want, boo. You really want that at 1 centimeter, especially when you are taking Epitocin and you are getting induced. Because it's unnatural. They're causing contractions to happen unnaturally through a narcotic, through a drug called Stadol and Pitocin. Been there, done that too. Okay? So now you in there, you thinking that you know, I'm going to go raw shot. You know, I'm going hard like the cave women. I'm straight about to have this baby. And then you sitting there feeling like you failed. But what you don't realize is that women understand that in birthing, that we have options. And so what you do is when you have options, you plan. But some stuff you can't plan for. So she ended up having a cesarean. But before all of this happened, she's sitting in a hospital room with her raggedy boyfriend. Okay? And he's saying he wants the baby to come. She got an attitude. He wants the older sister to see her little sister in the hospital. And she had a problem with it because she's so immature and jealous. She wants him to just love her baby and give her baby all this attention. But you know what? The average parent that has a second child, especially, you know, when they're married, they bring in the older sibling. They go and get t-shirts that say, I'm the older brother or I'm the older sister. They celebrate that. But because you did this the way that you did this, guess what? Now you jealous and you competing. Even at childbirth, boo. Even in the middle of having contractions, you are competing. Really? I know they're probably saying, I wish she had never done this. But you know what? This video is going to help somebody. It may not help them. But this video, I don't care if it helps one person change their mind about having a baby. About having premarital sex while you're a teenager. Then I've done my job. Now we're going to close with Raphael. So Naomi, not satisfied with the I don't love you, she decides that she's going to go to the old girl, to the girlfriend, Ines, or Agnes, or Ignis, or whatever her name is, and tell her that she's sleeping with Raphael. Really, Naomi? So you say, I'm going to eliminate my competition. But you know what that's called? In a game, in a competitive sport, that's called cheating. See, you cheated your way, thinking that if you get rid of her, or you cause a false forfeit, or you cause her to forfeit the game, that you won. But really the game never got played. See, you played yourself. Because now, you're with a man who's taking his second best. That's what you are. And that's what you'll always be. You're going to sit down at the table with the young lady and she told you was faking. Really, I wanted to hurt you and him. But I told him I don't want to be bothered with him. And you put a smirk on your face. Because you think you won. You didn't win, boo. You lost. And you think because this particular girl backed out, that all the other girls are going to back out? You think that the way to a man's heart is by getting rid of the other woman? There will always, Naomi, be another woman. You didn't win, boo. With your ignorant self. And it's so sad because I don't see any family around you. I don't understand what's going on with you. I really don't. But you need to get yourself together. You need to work on your self-esteem. And see, young ladies, let me tell you something. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful you are or how ugly you are. We all get our fair chance up at bat. All of us do. We all get an opportunity to play the game. But it's how you feel about yourself and your self-respect on how you end the game. Win, lose, or draw. Make sure you've given the best of who you are. And when you really look at people, withhold yourself from them. If a man or a boy, teenage boy, tells you that he loves you, at 16 years old, he's lying. Because at 16 years old, neither one of you all know anything about love. Not at all. So at the end of the day, Mia ended up having a cesarean. She gave birth to a baby. And so that's going to take us into our next episode. Stay tuned to Auntie's Advice. And we're going to talk about this. But for right now, I'm hoping that I gave you something to chew on. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I love you dearly. And to everybody who has been here with me for the long haul, I absolutely adore you all. Bye-bye.